Right, time now to take a look at the French papers with Alison Sargent. Good morning, Alison. Good to see you. Now, you're starting with Le Parisien, which is putting the focus today on undecided voters as we head into the first round of the French presidential elections, just under 2 weeks away.
That's right. On its front page today, Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien is declaring open hunting season for undecided voters. We're now just 12 days away from that first round of polling, and over one-third of people in France still don't know who they're going to vote for yet. And that's really a huge number of people. Le Parisien says that undecided voters are le clé du scrutin, the key to this election, and candidates are now doing everything they can to seduce them. The paper also says that really this level of indecision has never been seen before, and they offer a couple of explanations for that. First, there's the sheer number of candidates. Then there's the scandal surrounding Fillon that has thrown off many voters on the right. They were going to vote for Fillon, now they don't know what to do. And meanwhile, voters on the left are divided between multiple candidates. And then finally, there's the rise of anti-system candidates like Jean-Luc Mélenchon on the far left and Marine Le Pen on the far right. So the choice is tougher this year than ever before, and even President François Hollande is undecided. You can see him in this cartoon by Vincent. He's telling former Prime Minister Manuel Valls, "I don't know who I'm going to vote for." And Valls responds to him, "Well, for once, you're in tune with the rest of the country."
Well, one candidate who could really use a boost from undecided voters is the socialist candidate Benoit Hamon.
That's true. He's still really lagging in the polls, still in 5th place. And the communist paper L'Humanité says Hamon is now throwing everything he's got into his campaign. Yesterday, he unveiled his propositions for what he'd accomplish in the first 6 months of his presidency. And he says these measures are inspired by Roosevelt's New Deal. They include boosting the minimum wage by 5%. Benoit Hamon also attacked his main competitors yesterday. He said Emmanuel Macron is not proposing any measures to help poor people. And he said that Jean-Luc Mélenchon is anti-Europe and in danger of pulling France out of the European Union.
Okay, well, meanwhile, the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen is showing no signs of backing down from those very controversial comments she made that France is not responsible for deporting Jews during the Holocaust.
Yeah, these comments sparked a huge outcry, but Marine Le Pen is not backing down from them. She denounced the systematic repentance, is what she called it, of politicians like Emmanuel Macron, who recently said that France was guilty of crimes against humanity in Algeria. Marine Le Pen says that her comments are right in line with the Gaullist idea that the Vichy government, which collaborated with the Nazis during World War II, was not actually a part of France. But there's an editorialist in Le Figaro who is not at all convinced by this argument. He calls it a pointless and outdated debate. And the right-wing paper says that Chirac already put an end to this when he publicly recognized France's role in deporting Jews during the war.
Well, Marine Le Pen's comments had many wondering if she's actually kept more of her father's anti-Semitic beliefs than she's let on.
Yeah, Marine Le Pen had distanced herself from her father, Jean-Marie, in large part because of the comments he'd made denying the seriousness of the Holocaust. She was really trying to dissociate the National Front from anti-Semitism, but after these comments, some people really feel like the mask has come off. In this cartoon, for example, by Willem, we see literally just that, the face of Marine Le Pen as a mask being removed by her father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, who was perhaps behind it the whole time. And then according to L'Obs, these comments have indeed destroyed any hope Marine Le Pen had of gaining trust from Jews in France. You can see in that title there, From Seduction to Repulsion. They say her words don't amount to Holocaust denial, but they do show that her strategy of making French people feel less demonized by some of their history does bring with it sort of a selective memory. And the paper cites a tweet in particular from one of France's main rabbis who says, "For those who thought the FN had changed, Marine Le Pen's comments on the Veldiv roundup should convince you definitively otherwise."
Well, you mentioned earlier, Alison, that President François Hollande may not know who he's voting for yet, but he has started making plans for after the election. Tell us more.
That's right. He's looking for a house. He's thinking about moving to Corrèze. That's a department in the center of France, kind of north of Toulouse and east of Bordeaux, so kind of the southwest. And at least that's according to the Figaro. They say he's looking for a house near Tues, which is his political stronghold. So it seems he wants to be surrounded by some friendly faces after kind of a rough time. Apparently, it's the right time to buy, which is good news according to Le Parisien. The paper is offering some real estate advice to the president today. They say that the area has been very impacted by Brexit. There are less British people buying homes, which means a lot of good deals are opening up, especially for older houses. So if the president isn't opposed to doing some renovation, Le Parisien says he could purchase a nice fixer-upper, and that would also give him a nice project to focus on once he's out of office.
And who doesn't love a good deal, Alison? Alison Sargent, thank you very much for that there with the press review. Right, stay with us here on France 24. More news coming up. Plus, crowded classrooms, rowdy students lacking discipline and falling literacy rates. According to some teachers, these are just a few of the problems with the French education system. In today's Focus Report, we look at their efforts to make France's presidential candidates sit up and pay attention. Don't go away.